you doing?
I'm trying to cut this rope.
You know only $600 knives cut, right?
What? So my history with knives goes back to this knife right here. My grandfather sent this to me in the mail from Maryland down to Texas to where I was living at the time. And I remember getting it in the mail, and it was like my first knife. And I love this little knife to death. So I started off with these small traditional knives. I had this in my pocket every weekend. Of course, my mom wouldn't let me take it to school. Thanks, Mom, for keeping me out of trouble. But I wanted to talk about this knife and my love for traditional knives, because fast forward 20 odd some years later, we're talking about Rough Ryder. Now, Rough Ryder is a Chinese brand knife, and I know I'm going to lose some of you guys automatically when you say Chinese brand knife, but they make they make a whole wide range of knives. Go check them out. But I want to talk about this particular knife because it's got the VG-10. So we'll unbox this thing. I've already had it open. I just wanted to kind of show you what the box looks like and how it's going to come just in a regular little plastic bag. And then this is the knife right here. Very modern design. So this is like a modern traditional type of knife right here. And why I like this knife so much is because of the price. What Rough Ryder does is they allow you to kind of experiment, see if you're going to like a style of a knife, and you're not going to spend that much money. The VG-10 is just an icing on the cake because most of them are made out of 440A steel, which is a lower steel. And for a long time, 440A was, that was the steel to have on a knife. Now we're talking about VG-10 for a long time was considered a super steel, and now they have a lot better steels out there. They're going to cost you a lot of money, but they do have a lot better steels. Now let's roll in a competitive option right here. The Spyderco Delica, same type of steel. Now the Spyderco Delica does have the Spidey hole, but look at this. The comparison between these knives is very close. The cutting edge is almost, I think it's 1/10 of an inch. The Rough Ryder's blade length is 2.75 inches. The Delica right here is 2.85 inches. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, these knives have basically the same cutting blade. Now, I would say that the Delica would be for, some heavier tasks, some heavier duty tasks. This is more of like an office EDC knife. You pull this out, nobody's gonna like turn their head or think that you're, gonna cause some type of harm. Nice pen pocket knife. I like it a lot. They call it a trapper. So with the trapper, you get two blades. This is considered the clip blade, and then you also get the display blade. Can I talk? Display blade. Now, what I like having these two blade options for is because, let's move the Delica out of the way. I will use, like, for my heavier cutting tasks, boxes and rope, all of that type of stuff, I will use the display blade for that and keep that dedicated to that type of work. Then I'll use my secondary blade here as like a food prep blade. So I keep this just for cutting apples, oranges. My son he calls them happles. I don't know why, but oranges. I don't know why. My wife, he calls them happles. But anyway, the fit and finish on this particular knife is good. It's not excellent. $25 is what we're talking about here, guys. So if you take a look at the back, there is a little gap right here. The sanding, or this is kind of rough on the edges on the handle. But we're talking about $25. I think I really like the design, the two-tone pattern, the blue on the top and the black. And I've been using this knife, and I haven't had to sharpen it. The nail nick type of situation, is not as convenient as having something like the Spidey hole. The Spidey hole is definitely very convenient, easily to deploy. This is a little bit more effort trying to pull it out, because you actually have to, watch your hands when you pull it out, and then you can kind of get to that nail nick and then pull out the blade. And it does have a half stop, which is a safety measure, so it will kind of stop before it comes down on your fingers. But I like this knife. $25. Check them out. The VG-10 steel is what the selling point on this knife, meaning that you're not going to have to sharpen it as much as like a 440A or a regular steel. And then if you really like this style of knife, you can go out and pay more money and get a better quality case, or they have a lot of different companies that make these modern traditional knives. If you find that you like it, I actually like this a lot. This fits well, goes well with the suit. If you want to slip this in your suit pocket, and then whenever you have a need to cut something, you have something that's appropriate and something that no one's gonna look twice at. I think this is something you could definitely check out. They have a lot of different versions. Not all of them are VG-10. I think there's only 2 VG-10 versions, but this VG-10 option is something I'm definitely going to keep and hold on to, because I want something. This might be more of a weekend, EDC option, but when I go into the office, I still want to have a knife with me. I think that this is a really good option. And then some folks, this might be their regular EDC option. It's small, it gets out your way. I think the weight on this is super light, 2.8 ounces right here. So that's down there almost with like a Benchmade bug out or something like of that nature. Definitely a good knife. No pocket clip on this. Just a straightforward old-fashioned trapper knife. But I wanted to show it to you and kind of share with you some of the value items that are out there. Guys, thanks for watching George the Fine. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down button twice. Down in the comments, we're talking about EDC, everyday carry, what you're carrying. What kind of knife are you carrying right now? I'm curious. And guys, I do videos every week. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. We usually do backpacks. We do EDC items this period, whatever. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.